Our foreign editor, Philip Turle, who's with me right now. Philip, what did we hear from the Ukrainian delegation?
There seems to be a little bit more optimism from these discussions that things are progressing in the right direction, more so from the Russian side than from the Ukrainian side. The Ukrainian side is sticking to its position, saying that peace, ceasefire needs to be signed before any agreement on what to do next can be worked out between the two sides. Basically, that there can be no peace agreement at the moment if Russia is still trying to make territorial gains. So until there's a ceasefire, we can't go any further. Second point from the Ukrainian side, that they're not willing to bargain on territorial integrity. There'll be no changes to the 1991 territory borders after the breakup of the former Soviet Union, and that there were rumors of a 15-year plan to discuss the future of Crimea. The delegates there saying Russia needs to recognize that these are territories which have been occupied and the laws in those territories must be respected before any discussions can take place. That's from the Ukrainian side. From the Russian side, they were a bit more open, saying the Russian government had decided to reduce its military activity in Kyiv. That was something that we've more or less been seeing over the last couple of days. Ukraine is assuring the conditions for an agreement between the two sides, and that there is the perspective of talks in the long run between Volodymyr Zelensky on one side and Vladimir Putin on the other, after preliminary discussions between the foreign ministers of both sides, and then a signatory between those two ministers and also other parties being involved in working out when and how those talks can take place.
Well, you mentioned Volodymyr Zelensky, the Ukrainian president. He's been addressing the Danish parliament today via video link. Have a listen to a bit of what he had to say.
People who make decisions in Russia think their actions will go unpunished. They think they will be able to avoid sanctions. The embargo on Russian oil, they think it won't last, that it's just talk. Everyone is expressing their concerns, but an international tribunal, the Russians know that will take years to bring perpetrators to account. This is why we're talking to you and democracies around the world. Sanctions against Russia need to be strengthened. We need to say no to Russian oil. We need to block trade with Russia. We need to close ports to Russian ships. And this needs to be a policy of solidarity among all the member states of the European Union.
And Philip, that is a message from Volodymyr Zelensky that we've heard several times during this war, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. This is the latest in a long series of personal speeches to parliaments around the world. We've had the French National Assembly last week. We've had the British House of Commons, and also he's spoken to the Knesset in Israel, amongst many others. Mette Frederiksen, the Danish Prime Minister, in the front of those pictures there. I think that he knows that he's lost the fight to join NATO. He knows he's not going to be joining the European Union anytime soon. What he wants is for the West to come together to bring in and give Ukraine more weapons. He says that if Ukraine is not given those weapons, if the West does not supply what they need, then this war could spill out and become a lot worse, and the West will pay an even greater price than it's paying already, and it will lead to the total destruction of Ukraine. And saying there have been crimes against humanity, why has the world not stopped this from happening? And a couple of other statements, evil has been brought to our land and it's a black hour for Ukraine. So putting the emphasis on the West again, we need your help. We've understood we're not going to make it into being a part of NATO or the EU, but that doesn't stop you from helping us, and we really badly need that help.
Philip Turle, our foreign editor, thank you very much.